Welcome back, MVP. Streebo here with you from Mutantville.com, and today we are going to discuss Splice. This is the latest creature feature meets 21st century technology and ethics gone wrong, brought to us by director Vincenzo Natali, starring Adrian Brody, Sarah Polley, and some chick whose name I don't know how to pronounce, so I wrote it down, Delphine Chanaec, something like that. Anyway, Splice tells the story of two biogeneticists that are combining various types of animal, plant, and eventually human DNA to create new life forms in the hopes that they can generate some type of protein that can be used to cure various illnesses. So something like that. Anyway, they're forced to take their experiment underground, and they create a new life form which is a combination of animal and human DNA, and they follow its development as it grows and flourishes over time. And of course it all winds up in being a big monster movie mash by the end of it. So that's about as spoiler free as I can get. I just want to say that I think Splice is probably the best horror film I've seen all year. Now, as far as slam bam, thank you ma'am type action in a horror film, my favorite has been The Wolfman so far. But Splice is the first one to really make me think on a lot of different levels and really disturb me on a lot of different levels. And keep this spoiler free for a while and then pop in with some spoilers at the very end of this. But the movie is filmed really well. The cinematography is beautiful. It's a mix of environments. The art direction is very cool at some points when the environments are very cold and scientific and we're supposed to feel detached, and then at other times the environments are warmer and we have warm colors and reds and oranges and yellows and this sense of warmth and love and feeling and family and trust combines together to create sympathy for the characters in the movie. So there's a lot of things at play in this. The acting is tremendous from everyone involved. Adrian Brody, Sarah Polley, even the girl who plays the creature, Dren, so to speak, Delphine Chanaec. They do fantastic jobs of creating three-dimensional characters, which is something that's very rare in movies in general, not just in horror films. The effects are really good. The effects are great. It has a lot of CG in it, but the CG is good. It does not pull you out of the story. I don't ever think there was a moment where I just looked at it in disbelief and said, this is ridiculous. I'm looking at a computer image and I just can't get into this. I was engrossed by it pretty much from beginning to end. The characters really pull you into it with their story and their trials and tribulations, so to speak. I liked Splice because it's just a combination of so many different stories and so many different themes. There's the Frankensteinian man against nature, against God, against the laws of nature, defying death to create life theme running through it. There's themes of what is a family, at what point does a family come together, at what point does a family fall apart, where are those boundaries blurred and broken. So many things going on. There's an Oedipus story in it, as in Oedipus. We have the Elektra story in it with these family dynamics at play. I didn't know this at first until it was pointed out by another reviewer, but there's a blatant homage to the Frankenstein stories with the names of the characters. Clive is obviously a reference to Colin Clive, and Elsa is a reference to Elsa Lancaster. So actors from Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein respectively, and I didn't notice that at first. Those are the type of homages that I really like, which was one of the problems I had with Predators, where I could see the homages coming. And this, I didn't even realize it until long afterward, and it just made me like the movie that much more. Well, I didn't realize it until somebody else explained it to me, and I agreed with them. But anyway, the effects are good. Creature effects provided by Howard Berger of the infamous KMB effects, or famous KMB effects, I shouldn't call them infamous, rather. Fantastic job there. There's a mix of CG with the character, because there are some moments where it's truly a little creature, and it's something that can't be manipulated as easily with a puppet or with a person. So by making it be CG, it works, and it never pulls you out of the film. And as it grows and develops later and takes on more human characteristics, it's a combination of the actress Delphine and the various makeups that they put on her. But it all serves towards one purpose, which is to enthrall us with this family human drama. For the majority of the movie, you see, okay, I'll put it like this. It's pretty much a drama for about an hour of this movie's running time. Okay, the first 5-10 minutes, you see the horror and thriller elements that are present in the trailer itself. That's practically the first 10 minutes of the movie right there in the trailer. This kind of hide and seek with the little unseen monster. That all goes away, and it becomes this human drama about this developing story that has all these little twists and turns and backstories to it that are quite interesting, about these young scientists that are dedicated to their craft to the point where one wants to have a family, the wife doesn't want to have a family, but at the same time she does want to have a family. This creature becomes a surrogate family member of sorts. So there are some really complex and amazing relationships created in this film. One thing that it accomplishes is that it makes us both sympathize with and despise almost each one of the main characters in various turns. There are no straightforward good guys and bad guys, or these are the townspeople, this is the monster, the monster must be destroyed. There's a mixture, there's a blurring, a blending of lines. Just the genres are spliced together, so to coin a phrase rather badly, in that we don't necessarily have a villain to root against. We wind up rooting for everyone in turn, and we understand some of the decisions they make. We groan at some of the other decisions they make, but all in all, it's just fascinating. We're really pulled in by the characters, pulled in by their story, pulled in by this little family that's coming together. There are not a lot of gore effects in the movie. There are very few, as a matter of fact, but the movie is not a PG movie. It's a good hard R movie. There are some very deep, dark, disturbing themes at play in this. I've put up Cronenberg magazines here behind me because Splice is the closest to a surrealist Cronenberg type horror film that I've seen in the theater in a long time. I can't even really think of anything right off the bat unless it was something by Del Toro, who incidentally, Guillermo del Toro is the executive producer on Splice. Director Vincenzo Natali, he debuted with Cube, which is a fantastic little film in its own right. Supposedly he went into research and development on Splice all the way back in the year 2000, so they worked on this for quite a while. The creature effects designed by Howard Berger are fantastic. Oh, got somebody wanting to say hello. I got my own little Splice creature here. But don't worry, she's not going to run around naked or anything. Performances by everyone involved are fantastic. It all serves to draw you in, make you believe in the characters, which if you talk to horror writers, various storytellers, like I was talking to Steve Niles and Bernie Wrightson at the Heroes Convention just a few weeks ago, just last month, and asking them about the elements of horror and what they focus on. Asked them if they focused on mythology, symbolism, or whatnot. They always said they focused on the characters. You have to have believable characters to hang everything else on. That's where Splice succeeds in buckets and spades. The characters pull you in, even though there's literally no horror for a good hour of the middle runtime of this movie. There's a little sneaking at the beginning, there's great monster mayhem at the ending, but in between it's just a human drama. And that's what pulls us in. That's what makes it great. That's what makes me want to see it again. And I give Splice a 9 out of 10 on the Streebo Screamometer. 9 out of 10. I highly recommend it. I think it's the best horror film of the year, the most intellectual horror film I've seen all year. It will shock you, it will thrill you, it will make you laugh, it will make you cry, it will disturb you. It will do all of the above, and it's well worth checking out. Splice, go see it. I highly recommend it. Fantastic movie. And let's see, I always lose about the last minute of my videos, so let me just wind it up with something that's not too terribly important. This weekend we are preparing to take a journey to Mecca to meet the one, only Roger Corman. That's right, we're going to Fright Night Film Fest in Kentucky. We are going to meet Roger Corman there, talk to him, watch the midnight showing of Death Race 2000 on Saturday night. Hopefully we'll get to hang out with the Dead Pit guys some more. Slow Rider.